to another episode of Higher Paranormal. I'm Carlos. Tonight I am being accompanied by Andrew, my nephew. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Andrew. Carlos is my uncle, and he told me about this podcast a while ago, and I've been pretty interested, so I decided why not.
Well, he's on vacation right now.
Yeah.
Senior year going into high school, and he's from Florida, came to upstate. He's visiting for like 10 days, leaving tomorrow, and today's the last day that we had a chance to do one. So there's a couple of stories that I got from Reddit, and I was supposed to have posted them a long time ago. I really apologize if anybody, a few people does listen to this. I'm pretty sure I must have mentioned it before, but I have, now it's an 11-month-old and a whole bunch of other things where it just makes it very hard to be able to just get anything done. My day usually starts at 7 and ends around 10. So now in this case, I'm gonna start with a couple of shorter stories, and then there is one Redditor who has two posts. One is a fairly long one, and the other one a very short, kind of like update question a few months later. And so the first one that we're gonna start with is from Wisebake 8600, and this one originally was submitted in Spanish, so I'm just gonna read it directly into English. So deal with me with any issues. Let's see. Nobody believes me. Even I don't believe myself sometimes. This happened a few years ago. This happened a few months ago. My husband and I were sleeping, separate because of work reasons, but we normally like to do a FaceTime and be able to put each other on the microphone, so that way the noises from the other ones won't wake us up, and that way we can also fall asleep. In the morning, the call continues to be open, and that night, as you know, it was our regular thing to do, I put my kids down to sleep. I went to the bed with my FaceTime open. He went to sleep, and he went to lay down, and he started to watch something on TV. I did as well. I woke up around 3 in the morning because there was a very intense and bright light that it was bothering me, and it woke me up. So within my sleep, I don't know, I believe that the kids have left the door open to the bathroom. I don't know, maybe that was the light that it was bothering me. So when I opened my eyes, in front of me there were two figures with like a gray color, big eyes, long extremities. And yes, boys, I'm saying an alien, like in the movies. So in my mind, I kind of thought I was sleeping. I thought, well, this is a very strong, vivid dream. And now, it is good to say that I love dreaming very vivid and intense stuff. But, you know, I don't know, something about this one, because I normally don't get fearful. So I decided to kind of enjoy the dream and try to observe every little detail to be able to remember the next morning. They were observing me from a distance, kind of like 3 feet away or about a meter. They would move their head like in a negative way, and they would look at each other. The light continued being very intense, and all of my lamps continued to be turned off. So after a while, I was able to see how they would cross the door, and the light would just vanish behind them. All of this, everything was just back in darkness. I was, again, could not able to move for a few more seconds, but then I was able to look on my phone, and the phone call continued to be open. My husband was asleep, and it was around 4 in the morning. So around 7, I got up. I got the kids ready for school. My husband woke up as well, and we removed the silence from the phone call, and he said, "Did you sleep wrong or badly last night? I noticed that around 3 o'clock in the morning there was a lot of light coming from from your bedroom. What happened?" And I told him, but obviously he laughed at me. I will never have the certainty if this was real or not. Okay, so obviously I missed my cue there with pressing the buttons and stuff because I kept pressing and it wouldn't give me the last part of the song. Um, the app itself doesn't give like a little fade out to make it a little bit smoother. Anyway, now that is a pretty cool story. I actually did contact her. She provided a few other information to it. I believe I already told those, and I was just only having this one. I always love stories about aliens. That's a very, such a labyrinth of things to be, because I totally believe that they're real. There's so much out there that it's fake. It's like trying to find, a psychic. Like, I know that they're real, and they are people with abilities, but to find a real psychic and not somebody who's scamming you, there's the issue. I mean, I'm going to tell you something that I just found out about a month ago. And this is like not actually, I'm not proud at all about this, but I'm looking into maybe having him come on the show and let us know that side, because I know a person who literally scams people like that.
Like, a fortune teller?
No. I know a guy who takes some dumbasses who believe what they want to believe.
Correct.
So he explained to me that he goes and puts on Facebook posts, their advertisements and stuff and offers and deals, and hey, whatever he needs to be for that day. He has many things running. One as a personal counselor, one as a paralegal, one as a shaman or witch person. I don't know what the hell, but
so he just has like the whole 20 operations of psychic-esque
and
things.
Since it's connected to WhatsApp, he explains that he just gets the messages. Hey, so at one point while we're talking about it, it's like, look, I just got a message. And literally all it says is, I just want to know if my husband is going to leave me or not. Like, come on, people, you got to do more research than that. Like that's why it's so hard to believe the story is being told by people who are being honest about it, because most of us just want to believe anything and everything. And so, I mean, look at the example a few days ago, 2-3 days ago. What happened? You remember? You woke up and I said, you won't guess what happened last night.
Oh, yes! Oh, my God! Okay. So what happened was that I woke up one day, right? He showed me, come look at what happened in the backyard, right? So he pulls up his phone of the security camera footage, and what he pulls up is that there's this door, right? It's like meant to prevent mosquitoes. Yeah, there's a screen door, right? And what happened is the screen door, it's really hard to open, right? So you have to like finagle it, but it just it was open, or it got opened in the middle of the night, and it swinged all the way to this, like it swing till full open. And with this door, when it swings fully open, with the amount of force that was shown on the security camera footage, it like usually bounces back. Like it hits a piece of wood and then it bounces back a little bit.
Yeah,
But
like it's very smooth when it comes to the swing. So you just gotta like tap it and it moves back. But once it gets to the end, because the swing doors normally have something showing up like my swing that you can, right? My swing door that you can see right here. Does that same thing. So it just bounces back. When that one did it, it just stayed back, like if somebody was holding it. And that right there was the freaky part. Because
it just bounced right back. No, sorry, it didn't bounce right back. That it just stayed there like someone was holding it down.
Exactly. It was like this stupid cop.
And it's hard to open in the first place, so it's like.
So, and then yes, like the little click on it is just hard to begin with. Like, I made it where it's hard to pop because of the dogs. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to record a little video to show on Facebook or something of us hanging out. So that I searched all the other camera feeds. There was nobody else around. I originally thought somebody tried to get in the house or something. I did have a 4-wheeler being stolen from me last year. Nothing. I actually had locked the actual door to that screen door 20 minutes ahead of time. I see myself going in the garage and the video and everything. And I want to post the videos, but I want to post the, showing all the angles. So I've been lazy about it. That only happened like 3 days ago too.
It was recent, and it's like, right when he was explaining it, he's like, just try and open the screen door, right? Like he was telling me, like, try and open the screen door. I try and open it, right, and I can't get it because you have to like finagle it. And he's like, you see, but then look in the video, and then in the video he shows the door just swing open, and it's like, I
gotta figure it out, because the same thing is with a little motion sensor light I put in the closet that it goes off every so often. I'm thinking it's just bugs or whatever flying around and activating it, but now I don't know. Anyway, now we're gonna go to the next story. I usually don't talk this much between episodes, but since I'm here with you, I don't know, can shut up. The other one, the other Reddit story is by Upset Tiger 7270, and I'm assuming he's in the military because he said it happened in its barracks. And so let's see, what should I choose for this one? Let's see this one. I think my barrack rooms might be haunted, or I'm going a bit crazy. As stated in the title, I feel as I'm either hallucinating or my room's haunted. At least what has happened so far. Also, throwaway, because don't want people to try and contact my chain of command. 1. A couple of weeks ago, around November I would say, I woke up to my light in the closet being sort of dim. I would like to mention that there isn't a way to control the brightness. Anyhow, I got up to see, if it was some sort of electrical issue, turn it on and off. It is still possible, but it hasn't happened again, so I don't know. As soon as I got up, it turned off by itself. Freaked me out a bit, but I was like, whatever. Closed the door, stayed up for a bit, and then went back to bed. The second one about 2 weeks later in December. I was sleeping, and I guess I woke up a little bit, but I heard my dresser desk thing move. It's on wheels. And I just noped out, pretended it didn't just happen, and I was trying to get back to sleep. All of a sudden, I swear to you, I heard my clothing basket move. I had it on the floor right next to my head that night due to just doing laundry a couple hours before, and I swear I heard it move. After that, I turned on the lights, but nothing really seemed out of the ordinary. I couldn't remember if my desk was where it was, or if it was moved, or my clothing basket seemed to be around the same place around the desk as it was before. I just couldn't go back to sleep that night. 3. Just a few hours ago, and what really inspired me to reach out was the fact that I was waking up. Mind you, it was around 10 p.m., 2 hours into my sleep, and what sounded like straight up sprinting towards me. And dude, I'm telling you, it scared the shit out of me. And I jumped out, put on my glasses, and sat on my bed trying to figure out if I was going crazy. So I woke up my roommate. Different room, but shared the same common area. And he said he didn't hear anything. And, I had just woken him up. I then called the guy I share a wall with to see if he heard anything, but just my luck, he wasn't in his room. And that was unfortunate. The problem is that I have zero proof of any of this happening other than my own memories. I plan to get a sleep tracker app installed to use, and like the one that people use to record your sleep, and see if I can catch anything. I would love to add that I have one experience what I know was an auditory hallucination when I had COVID a year ago. So, it may not be a ghost or whatever. Either way, I want to get it figured out. But this is the first time all of this has occurred so frequently and so tangibly. Edit. I live on the 3rd floor. No way this is a prank. So I kind of wish it was. Now you see with this one, I trying to read to I forget. I believe I gave the same basic advice to everybody else of kind of tell it to get the hell out of there and put some salt and holy water and stuff like that. Now once I have the time, I would like to reach out and see if anything has happened, if it stopped, if if you figured anything out about it. Damn, they go to sleep at 8:00 p.m.
Look, that's what I was thinking too. Like, they said 2 hours into their sleep, and I'm like, wait, what's 10 minus 2? That's 8. And I'm like, okay, I got this. It's 8 p.m., but that's so early.
I know.
Like,
holy cow, that is way too early for me.
oh my. Imagine how early I have to wake up to, like, have a full-on good day.
Know. It's crazy. So there was something else, because with the dim lights, I mean, that's another one. It's like if you have a light switch that is like set,
Yeah.
and if it's not an electrical issue because it only happened once, like if it shuts off, it's a bad light switch. You gotta replace it. Those mechanical switches like that are not, like going to Costco and buying that smart switch like I do and having to replace it every 6 months or so.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, they go bad quickly. And so the other one is, everybody's trained on different things. A lot of people, like, my first thought was like, you're in the army.
Yeah.
And you're getting scared, and it's not, as bad as other stories. But then again, he's training to be shot at, not to be having the legs pulled while you're asleep, different things. So I understand it. Now, Andrew,
It's
is I am more used to reading because a lot of reading and my reading is bad as it is. I'm not saying that his is, but just letting you know if any, like, oh my God, whatever. Well, we're just having fun, so skip it. I don't know what to tell you. You can do the same thing with all of my episodes because they all suck. So, let me see if I remember the background song you wanted.
it was it was that one right there.
Isn't that one that I just used? I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, you ready, Freddy?
Yeah, I'm ready. I need some help. This is my story about the quote-unquote doorbell man and the chimes heard at 3 a.m. What would do something like this? Hello. Thanks for allowing me to share here. If any of you have any advice, please send it. Here's some backstory. I'm a 21-year-old female college student who grew up in a small rural town and currently lives in an apartment in a suburban area. As a youngster, my parents fought a lot and divorced when I was 16. My mom ran off after that. I'm not overly religious. I don't go to church, but do believe. Ever since, I always felt like I saw a bit more than my siblings. I would get scared and run up the stairs in the morning, thinking something was going to grab me. No one in my family was ever very close, but we did have a running joke because things would go missing in the house. We would say a ghost named Bob took the everyday items and all you had to do was say, "Bob, give it back please," and you could then find the object. As a child, I remember waking up in weird places, like going to sleep in my bed and waking up on the floor or in the living room. Oddly enough, no one else remembers this. Now on to the more recent stuff. I moved into my first apartment last August. We will call this apartment number 1. It was a 4-bedroom apartment with 2 bedrooms on the main floor and 2 in the basement. My room was on the first floor. My window faced the alley. I had a close friend in the room next to mine. Nothing seemed off when I first moved in, nor did anything happen before I moved in. October. It was a cold night, and I was out with my boyfriend. I came home at midnight. My roommate told me that while she was showering around 10 p.m., the doorbell went off. She was in no rush to get it because she was in the shower. All the lights were on in the house. About 5 minutes after the first bell, the doorbell went off again. She told me she got dressed quickly and went to see who it was, but no one was there. We assumed it was just some frat hazing, as we live close but not on the college campus. About 2 weeks after that, everyone was out. I was home alone. It was around 10 p.m. and I was in bed with my TV on. The doorbell went off twice. I got up, thinking someone just ordered DoorDash. I look at the people and no one was there. I checked the ground outside. Nothing is there. And there was no one in the courtyard. I was freaked out. When my roommate came home, I told her, and she was just as shocked. November. About 2 weeks after that, I came home and was home alone. Everyone was out again. I was in bed. It was around 11 p.m. and I was relaxing. I was actually very happy watching my shows. All the lights were on, except my room's. Then I heard it. The doorbell went off again. This time, I waited to answer, thinking it was the same weirdo at my door. I got up after 5 minutes to check. As expected, no one was there. So I did not open the front door though. I walked back to my room and sat on my bed. I felt weird, so I looked towards my window, and it was looking in at me. I could not see its face, as the alley has no lights, and Colorado at night is very dark. But I looked at it, stunned. I pulled out my phone to take a photo, and it took off. All I saw was this hooded figure running away. I texted my roommate. She did not want to come home that night. Due to this, I ordered a window tint to put up. We got alarms and cameras for the house. We were more afraid someone was trying to break in. A few days later, it all came in. My roommate and I set everything up. She went to go shower around 10 and I was in bed, finally relaxed. She finished her shower and I was getting ready for bed in her room. I was falling asleep and then I heard a tap, tap, tap. It was tapping on my window with its knuckles. There was no doorbell. I looked out to see the figure leaning in to look as it was next to the wall, leaning around, looking into my window, almost like it was trying to hide itself. I called my roommate's name, and she ran in as it ran away in the same direction as before. We called my dad, and the cops made a report. The cops told us it was probably a prank of my roommate, and I knew this was no prank. We tried to pull up the camera footage, but then saw the camera stopped working. We were both so scared that we slept in the same room that night. December. Everyone went home for the Christmas season. I traveled to the UK on my own, and nothing happened there. That made me feel a lot better. It was a nice change from the normal situation. I went to visit my family when I came back, then traveled back to my apartment. I passed the alley as I walked back to my apartment, and nothing was there. I went inside and laid on my bed. Then I looked out and saw it looking back, trying to hide itself behind the wall again. No taps, no doorbell this time. Then it ran off in the same direction as before. I was terrified. Nothing else happened that month, at least what we know of. February to May. We had a few more occurrences like that. It seemed like all our forks went missing, but nothing too crazy happened those months. June. My roommate graduated and moved out. The next day, our male friend moved in. We already told him about what we call the doorbell guy. The first night he was here, he took a shower. I was in my room and the doorbell went off twice. I did not get up. Instead, I looked out the window. Only a man on his phone was in the alley, or at least that's all I saw. I eventually got up to check the door and, once again, no one was there. My roommates finished his shower and asked what the guy, and I said yes. Wait. My roommate finished his shower and asked, was that the guy? And I said yes. July, this week. I moved to the unit right above mine. We call it apartment number 6. It was brighter and very nice. My roommate will not move in until later, but I set up the kitchen, bathroom, and my bedroom. The rest of the apartment stuff is being brought with my roommate, so the apartment is pretty empty. Everything felt fine. I made dinner and ate. I cracked my room's sliding window and bathroom window because I am on the second floor, and it felt possible now. I made sure my front door was locked and locked my bedroom door. I went to bed. I suddenly woke up and my arms felt heavy. I had this odd feeling of fear in my heart. It was pounding. This is the only time in my life where I have ever felt this much dread. Suddenly, a handheld bell sound chimes twice and stopped for about 3 minutes. Then it goes again. It keeps doing this cycle. This sound was quiet yet prominent. There are quiet hours in the city, so church bells cannot have done this. The chimes gave me the worst feeling ever, and my mind kept telling me don't look out the window. I eventually get up and close my window, expecting to hear it still because my bathroom window was open. But the sound stopped. I was terrified. The fear this caused, it was like no other. So I got my phone and started searching for what just happened. I found a few experiences like mine. My phone was acting very slow, unlike what it normally is. The time on my phone read 3:30 a.m. I stayed up and watched TV to calm myself until I fell asleep around 4:30 a.m. The next day. It was noon. I was still freaked out and I heard a knock on the wall like somewhere. Dun, dunna, dunna, dun. It was noon. I was still freaked out and I heard a knock on a wall somewhere. Dun, dunna, dunna, do, dun, dun. Beats of the knock are the ones that my roommates and I would do with each other, where the other person finishes the beats, the dun dun, and the end of it is normally done by the other person. But the thing did the entire song, beats twice, and then went quiet. I made sure my old roommate downstairs was not doing it. They said they didn't even hear anything. I would like to say this ends here, but I'm writing knowing this may continue, and I have no way to know what's going on. I would like to say this ends here, But I'm writing this, knowing this may continue, and I have no way to know what's going to happen next. This situation is the definition of powerless. I don't know what or who this is, nor how to stop it. When I walk home from the train station in the day, I still feel paranoid. So if anyone knows what this is, please help me out. And share, better yet, share how to get rid of it. If anyone needs a photo of the alley, let me know, and I will send it to you, as it's not a creepy one.
Stop it. There is an update to that one.
Ooh.
And that was about a month later, given all of this is 7 months ago. Please update us, Andrew.
Of course. Should I be concerned? Hello. I need some advice. In my apartment, we have something that's been knocking on the walls and windows. We are on the 2nd floor, and a normally non-noisy apartment. For like a good year or so. We never thought much of it until my roommate and I both experienced weird feelings in the apartment, with random things like hair ties that went missing, showing up placed in the middle of our beds. Sometimes, when you look at a certain mirror, it falls. It's extremely sturdy on the wall. We normally catch it, but it's weird. Our cats have also started acting weird. For example, hair up walking weird into the living room when the lights there are off. She will eventually run and hide in her tunnel. I have also woken up in a sleep paralysis type state, where I saw something with a skull as a head turn towards me to stare at me. I have also had weird phone issues, for example, my recommended news pages all being about tarot readings, something I never search up.
So what do you think of that?
Okay, that's just like being the person in this situation would have to feel so like I'd be scared if I was them. Not like crazy scared, but also just like I would. I don't know if I'd be able to like sleep peacefully. It's like it'd be so difficult to be able to relax yourself with a situation like this. You have no clue what's going on, and you're seeing like a figure out of nowhere. It's so just like, what do you do? Like, what can you do in this situation?
Well, that's when the first thing is to not take it as a joke, would be my suggestion. To start doing a search, not for the regular paranormal team, because most of them call themselves investigators, and no knocking anybody who's trying to get proofs and stuff or whatnot. I just feel that a lot of them are going the wrong way about it. Just because it's cool, it's a way to make money or whatever the case. But if you find, a religious leader like a priest or orthodox or whatever it is, as long as they're shaman, whatever it is, as long as they believe in their thing, they can actually either know something about it to help out, or know someone who might be able to guide you in the right direction. And because I never understood religious people who say, well, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Christian, I'm a whatever, and I don't believe in ghosts. Well, you believe in the Holy Ghost and the Holy Spirit and blah, blah, blah. So,
an outer force.
I mean, if anything, you believe in a zombie.
Yeah.
If we want to be crude about it, because literally resurrected from the dead, that's a zombie. So,
it's not the typical zombie, but technically it's a zombie.
You could say Jesus is a zombie, and I don't know how many people are going to get pissed off at this, but I'm just making the point. And so, thank you so much to whoever actually listened. And I mean, at this point, I'm going to see if I can entice Andrew to record more stories for me. Maybe that way I can actually start posting things more regularly as well. I am on the fence whether I'm gonna take this audio and just clean it up a little bit, or if I'm gonna post it as is right now, because again, I'm tired. So I still gotta do the Spanish version of it and interpret it all myself. So, which actually, that long story is gonna be a lot easier for me to interpret from your story itself.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just gonna listen to the whole episode and basically just interpret it all in Spanish.
I mean, honestly, I liked recording. It was nice, and I need to read more. I don't know if that's like.
That sounded good, I think. I mean, normally I will go back, I will clean up the spots, because you actually did very well with going back and rereading this spot. I don't know. I mean, I think it was really good. I think, aside from because we're not actors, we're not anything, we're just an uncle and his nephew just having fun. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy that I'm pretty sure, well, I know that somebody at least listens to the first 10 seconds so that it can count as a download.
Yeah.
So, which, I mean, at this point, we saw it today at what, 403 in total? That's sad. That is sad, but that's fine because it's for fun.
Yeah, we're just enjoying this.
But yeah, I gotta keep an eye on this whole thing with us. And now I'm gonna have to start checking the alerts from the cameras just to see. I'm gonna have to,
I want updates
filter.
on the story.
Well, I got a few things that I have on the back burner, but I don't have time to do, which is, I know the person that I've known my whole life and didn't know that they actually have certain abilities. They get dreams that become reality within months or hours.
Oh, shit.
Proven stuff like the birth of kids, pregnancies, and stuff like that. Another one, there's a podcast, the one I told you, the Exorcist Files. I reach out to them. If you haven't listened to that podcast, you should, because it's like awesome. There's still a few questions that I have about, and I would love to be able to get access to the priest or his team, but let's see. If not, I'm going to have to start searching for my own version of it, because it's like they explain, for example, holy water.
Yeah.
Holy water, there's two types of holy water. I never knew that until I heard it on that episode.
Wait, there's more than one type of holy water?
There's two, apparently. One, which is the regular holy water in church and whatnot, and the other one is the exorcist holy water, which is which is why also they use a lot of salt. I forget the whole thing, connection with minerals and blah, 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 and the earth and whatever, but for, like, some of what I was telling people is like, my mom always recommends to put salt by your windows or by the doors or something and expel the spirit or whatnot and spray holy water and shit. But then...
Did the lights go off randomly?
Motion sensor.
Alright, because that light's been going off.
Yeah, motion sensor. Okay. Because the trees and whatnot.
There's like a ghost right there.
No, you could make a ghost out of everything over here, especially with the 20 acres in the back from the neighbor. But basically, is that your phone?
Yeah,
Holy
it's my
cow!
phone.
Sounds like my stomach when I'm hungry. So yeah, I mean, there's just a few things they're working on and see, but let's see. Anyway, talk too much, ramble too much. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, guys. It was nice being on here.
I'm trying to figure it out. You know what's going to be hard? None of these conversation things are going to really be happening. Or if they are, I'm going to have to figure out how to say them over there, because you're not going to be around.
Oh, that's going to be weird to say.
Yeah.
Damn.
Tell me about it.
And it like sucks to have an English exclusive.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I have to make it in both, but at least the stories are gonna be in both.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Stay paranormal.
Also, I forgot. Remember, if you ever need anything in Spanish, English, or one from the other, Aguirre Language Services can help you with any Spanish English needs. Have a good night.